Aditya Novotny with Linda Schwartz in New York. You may remember Linda from a previous video we did in Central Park. And since then, I think it has been 2 years,
Almost.
Linda has attracted great people. She's building a great team. I'm spending 3 days in New York and I'm totally amazed by the quality of the people. And there is a huge future for this group, for this team. So we are sitting actually in a chocolate factory and they're playing nice music. So this is also something, this is the outside and this is the inside. Here they make the chocolate. So New York has many nice places, but it's a hard place to build. Like Frank Sinatra said, if you make it in New York, you make it anywhere. And New Yorkers are a special breed. But also here, like everywhere, I find people who are helpers and healers. That means they want to do good for others. And that's my question to you today. Are you a helper and a healer? And do you get exploited sometimes? And does it help you building your business when you are being exploited? And our conversation is about that theme of being kind, of being good-hearted, of helping people, but then also of running danger of being exploited by those people that you want to help. And then comes even one question on top of it. Are you really helping people if you make them dependent on your help? Because that's the same theme that already Kung Fu Tse said 2,500 years ago, that you should not give people fish to eat. You should teach people how to catch fish. Because otherwise they become dependent on you, because they come again and say, oh, do you have again fish? And they cannot help themselves. So our real task in network marketing is not to create people who are dependent on us, but to teach people how to fish, to create independent people in our team. Now I give the word to you, Linda. What do you say about all this?
First of all, I do agree with the introduction about helping, exploiting. Few points I want to touch on. My passion is to help. My passion is to help and elevate other people, bring them in a better state in all areas of their life, holistically. Unfortunately, I do meet people whose objective is to exploit, conscious or unconsciously, which I see as a challenge, especially in my personal life. In my professional life, it's easier for me to deal with it because I'm personally
Okay, so that's
not
one
as
very important
invested.
differentiation. When such people are in your personal life, they can really drain you. They can
Yes.
really suck you. They can take your time, they can take your energy, they can take your psychological energy. And when it's professionally, you're more distanced, you're more detached, and it doesn't touch you so much. However, do you not still lose time with people when they want to exploit you, also professionally? And would your time not be used better for people who don't want to exploit you, but who want to build actively?
Absolutely. And that's really what I'm trying to focus on. So it's been some hard lessons, but I've learned people who do really just want to get my energy and waste my time. I don't accept them anymore in my work life, and I try to really only focus on those who want to work with me, who want to become independent, and those are things I am supporting, how they become independent. And that goes for team partners, for colleagues, people who want to work with me in a team, but also for clients.
Mm-hmm.
I tell them, I don't want you as my lifetime client. I want to get you to a state where you can take care of yourself so you don't have to come to me.
So you're saying, I don't want you to buy fish from me every time again, but I want you to learn how to catch your own fish.
Exactly.
And that you tell others even how they can catch their own fish,
And then continue.
or to become supplier of fish to others. Which of the two?
No, I
Do
want
you-
them to train other people also how to catch fish.
Wow, and that's great. That's the idea of a network.
Yes.
Because there is a network, supplier network, where you always supply and supply and supply, and then consume and consume and consume. And that's very much the traditional trade model. Network marketing is different. Network marketing creates self-determined people. Network marketing creates self-responsible people. And self-responsible people don't want to make other people dependent on them, because then you stay in the loop, then you stay in the hamster wheel, then you stay in the cage of being dependent on each other.
It's limited. It's linear, it's limited. I can only help so many people being just on my own. I can have only so many clients. I can only work with so many people in a day, in a week.
Yeah.
So
So
I need to
exponential growth
multiply,
is
yeah.
not possible. With
Not
the-
if I only supply fish, no.
Yeah.
Only if I teach how to.
If you teach enough people how to fish, like now on this weekend I have met several of your leaders, and I must say huge improvement. The quality of the people you have attracted in the last 2 years, these are stars. They are already now stars. I really congratulate you on that.
Thank
It's
you.
sensational.
Thank you.
And when I remember like the 2 years before that, there was always people, you always attracting people. But they came for you and they got something from you, and when they got enough or when they saw they cannot get more from you, then they disappeared again. Because they would not join you in a team to build something together with you. They would just come to consume you, to take something from you. Now, we have here among our viewers, definitely some viewers who are in the same situation, who are being exploited. And I would like you to give now to our viewers 3 action steps. How can you recognize quickly when somebody is exploiting you? How can you detach yourself? And how can you cut off, but cut off in a positive way, that you send that person maybe also on the way to freedom? Because as long as they are exploiting and vampirizing and parasiting other people, they also will never be happy, because they are suckers. So these 3 action
Yes.
steps, if you would like to formulate them. First, how do you recognize them?
You recognize them by asking yourself, do they take energy from you, or do they give you energy? Do they consume your time, waste your time, or do they spend time constructively with you together to build something, to do something productive? Do they harm you, or do they make you feel happy? Do they make you sad, or do they make you feel happy? Yeah. Which one is it? So these are a few questions, and there are more questions you can ask, follow up. Based on the bottom line is, do they do you good? Do you feel they support your growth? Or do they try to put you down? Either in a literal way or energetically. Do they operate with their heart? Or do
With
they
the
just,
mind, with their expectations.
or with the mind? Do they
Because
give-
parasites, vampires, they're usually expecting and expecting and expecting. And whatever you give, it's never enough. And they
Yeah.
come for more. And they really involve you, and they don't have a heart. Because you give and you give and you give, then the heart is full, then they give back. That's the way of the heart. Give and give.
Yeah.
But the way of the mind is take and take and take and take as much as I can. And of course, these people are unhappy, because if I only take, I can never be happy. But they don't realize that they're caught in that pattern.
And no matter what you, as much as you give, that was my personal experience, the more I give, it still didn't feel it wouldn't be enough, because the expectations are so high, or are so irrational, basically.
Yeah. It's never enough. With a sucker, with an energy thief, with a time thief, it's never enough. They will always ask for more, and you will feel already empty, and again they come for more. And so this is how you recognize. I suggest you rewind the video maybe, because these were now some really expert tips on how you can recognize those people who steal your time, those people who only want to get new fish and new fish and new fish and possibly for free, and who don't want to learn how to fish themselves and who don't want to learn how to teach other people how to fish. So that's the first thing. Second thing is how, when you realize this is a thief, this is a parasite, this is a vampire, this is a sucker, how do you distance yourself emotionally? Because these people, sometimes they catch you. Sometimes they embrace you, and they have you in a very bad embrace. But you sometimes cannot even escape so easily from such people. What would you suggest?
Once you recognize, and this is a very critical time, very critical step. Once you recognize, to not be in denial about it, really accept it, fully accept that you are in that position, and think of ways to overcome this, to forgive yourself for being in that situation in the first place, and to make that recognition, talk to somebody about it, to really consciously recognize it, to get confirmation from a friend, from a family member, from somebody who can see the situation from outside objectively.
Yeah, this is a very important point, because you may feel like you are cruel to them when you're distancing yourself from them, when you're cutting them off. But in fact, it's not your fault. I mean, you have to survive yourself. So it's your self-preservation. But unfortunately, we helpers and healers, we are wired in that way that when we finally do the right thing, that means distancing ourselves and then cutting off, then we even feel bad for it. And so this is very helpful. You get the outside perspective of a friend, possibly of more than one friend, family, and maybe even outside viewers of the situation. And you just ask, what's your opinion on that? How do you feel that relationship between me and that person is working out? What would you suggest? And that outside perspective can help you a great deal, because otherwise you may feel like you are the bad person.
Yeah, and we tend to trick our mind. We trick ourselves, and it's like, is it really that? Or we try to kind of find, maybe it's going to work out. We can do this. Maybe I was at fault too. Because it's difficult to, that detachment and being objective is really challenging when you're in the situation. So you got to take yourself out. And what helps is really talk to somebody who is really outside.
Yeah. And the third thing, action step. So this is the second point. How do you distance yourself once you have recognized they are thieves? And please again write down, because these are important helps, hints for you. The third thing is how to execute.
Execute is to really have a good plan. To really have a good plan to execute. Make up your mind, write down, what do you want? Where do you want to be next? Because you need to really keep the solution in mind and how you move forward. The moving forward is really, if you stay stuck, it's no good. You gotta move forward, and you have to see, how can I exit as peacefully as I can. And lovingly. Do I need to leave a place? Do I need to physically move? Or can I just stop communication with a certain person? Is that enough? So depending on your situation, how
involved are you with that person?
How involved are you?
That can be when it's a personal relationship. You might even have to move the place.
Yeah.
Or professional, then you have to move the other person
office,
out of the place.
for example, or
if it's a professional relationship, yeah, also you may have to split
if you have shared
geographically.
space,
Yeah.
or if you're involved together in a business, how to dissolve it. And for that, really write down where you want to end up personally, professionally, where do you want to be, and then make a really good plan how to get there and stick to that plan. Not the sticking to the plan is so important for you not to be sucked back in.
Yeah. There is a great danger of falling back into the same trap.
Yeah.
Next station, new person, but same pattern that repeats itself. And this is why the plan, the escape plan, should not just be an escape plan, but you should really construct your new life. And you should make sure it's not going to happen again. Because usually people to whom that happens, of being exploited, it happens to them again and again. Because there's something inside them that is prone to be exploited.
Yeah.
And this is why I totally agree with you. Write down a plan, and it never happens to me again. So my take on it is, I personally qualify people. I ask questions, and usually within 3 questions I know what kind of person I have in front of me, and then I know if I can serve them, because I will serve them only if they are ready also to serve other people. And if I see they only want to take, then they're not qualified, and I'm short-circuiting with them, like 5 minutes, and then I give them a nice smile, and usually I give them an advice, what could be your next station? A good book, for example, I recommend, or somebody they should meet. So I never leave people with empty hands, but I take myself out of the picture, because I'm not good for the person, because if that person just wants to exploit me and be a parasite, then I would become a supplier of that person on end. Plus, I would be taken from the stage for all the other people that I could help that would be positive, because they would help others. So for me, that would be the biggest loss, that somebody occupies me so much that I'm basically taken away from being there for all the other people. And time is too precious for that, life is too precious for that, so I cannot, this is my strongest driver. If one person tries to own me, if one person tries to totally occupy me, then alarm bells are ringing. Then I know something is wrong, and then I also know I cannot be there for all the other people. And then I feel I'm not fulfilling my role. So, final words, Linda?
Yeah, it's exactly, actually you hit it on the nail, fulfilling the role. If you feel you cannot live up to your passion, if you're not able to really fulfill what you want to live, what you want to give, what you're passionate about, if you cannot feel that because somebody is trying to hold you back, it's a red flag. And just one more thing for the plan, write also down the boundaries that nobody is allowed to cross. That will help you to really stay on your path and stay truthful to yourself.
Super. So never let anyone put out your flame.
No.
This is the thing. If you feel that your passion is going away, that your flame is being put out, and if you feel that your energy is being drained, then for sure it's a parasite, then for sure it's a sucker, then for sure it's a person, it's not constructive. And you don't help that person, because that person is a pattern that is self-perpetuating, and you are caught.
Yeah.
And you are taken away from the stage to help all the other people. You can't risk that.
Yeah.
Life is too good, too many good people that we can help and should help.
Work with people who also want to expand and who want to help others, who want to elevate not only themselves but who want to elevate others.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
that little talk. Linda from Brooklyn, New York, and actually a real Astorian right now in Brooklyn, but soon to be back in Astoria, Queens. This is Aditya Novotny, networkmarketingmastery.pro. Aditya Novotny, Transformational Leadership Training. See you next time.